Welcome to the Redline Report powered by HireMaster. I'm Caleb Bowen, and this week we're talking about Freight Rail's Q3 report, consumer demand, and the Biden administration's new proposal. You ready? In the beginning of 2022, railroad volumes were projected to grow tremendously. Yet, service disruptions such as headcount updates, rail service improvements, new leadership, and unexpected extreme weather in the first half of the year led workers to grow doubtful. However, a tentative labor agreement by two of the largest railroad unions in the U.S. dominated Q3 earnings for 2022. In a successful attempt to avoid a rail strike in the U.S., the Association for American Railroads announced that CSX and Union Pacific reached a tentative agreement overnight. According to the AAR statement, the deal will give employees a 24% wage increase over 5 years between 2020 and 2024, and an $11,000 payout to each union member upon ratification, which is still required. According to the Biden administration, if a nationwide rail strike had occurred, it would cost the U.S. a loss of approximately $2 billion in economic output every day. CSX and Union Pacific will announce their third quarter financial results on October 20th, 2022. Conditions for earning a profit in trucking are cyclical in nature. When freight is overflowing, rates generally increase, and truckers purchase more trucks to take advantage of the high demand. However, sooner or later, freight levels will dwindle and rates will decline alongside. At this point in time, some truckers will leave the industry until the supply and demand cycle balance is restored once again. Right now, the state of freight is anticipating a big drop in consumer demand. According to data collected by CNBC, there is a notable consumer pullback appearing in ocean shipping. Reports indicate a 20% drop in ocean freight orders for the month of September and into the month of October. Based on reports, the decrease in demand is visible throughout various products such as machinery, housing products, industrial products, and some apparel. The Georgia Port Authority Executive Director Griff Lynch said, quote, expects the number of waiting ships to drop over the next several weeks after seeing historic vessel calls, end quote. As reported by CNBC, ocean carriers are canceling as much as 50% of sailings to rebalance vessel capacity to demand. Analysts have indicated that the pullback in vessel capacity may continue into 2023 or until demands pick up before late January. Major shifts in industry demographics take time, but we are seeing a big shift in the trucking industry. In a Transport Topics article found on ttnews.com, Elizabeth Varna, Executive Vice President of Industry Affairs and Senior Advisor to the CEO of American Trucking Association, commented that she remembered a few years ago when the number of women drivers in the U.S. was only 2 to 3%, and now that is up to 7 to 8%. Although representation is still lacking, it is growing, and that is a positive sign for the industry. Quote, there's been more awareness that there are opportunities for women in the industry. You have so many different segments of the industry, you can be home every night if you want. Barna said, you can go out and see the country a week or two at a time. There are husband and wife teams. I think the industry itself is telling the story. More and more are being able to attract more women. Our industry provides an opportunity for excitement and independence as well as a well-paying career. Awareness around the benefits is needed to continue to attract new talent and further diversify our workforce. The Biden administration has announced a new proposed rule that will indirectly affect independent contractors. The U.S. Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division released a 184-page proposed rule which bears a resemblance to the Obama administration standards. If implemented, the standard would affect hundreds of thousands of workers across industries, from healthcare to truck drivers, and is likely to make it tougher for businesses to classify workers as contractors. The Principal Deputy Administrator of WHD, Jessica Lumen, participated in the press briefing and said, quote, through our enforcement in the Wage and Hour Division, we know that misclassification is occurring in many industries and sectors. We believe that the proposed regulation would better protect workers from misclassification, while at the same time providing a consistent approach for those businesses that engage or wish to engage with independent business contractors, end quote. In the proposed rule, the DOL is considering systemizing an ABC test to dictate independent contractor status. This test would be implemented under the FLSA, equivalent to the ABC test under California's new AB5. With the challenges brought forth by AB5, trucking companies anticipate the proposed rule will make it difficult to employ independent contractors. In addition to determining an employee's status, the change in policy would increase operational costs for trucking companies that rely on the independent contractor model. October is Mental Health Awareness Month, and HireMaster is committed to supporting the challenges drivers face in the trucking industry. In a news segment this week, the HireMaster Tip of the Week, we're talking truck drivers and mental health. Studies have found that truck drivers are at a risk of developing mental health illnesses due to the nature of the job. The combination of tough competition, long work hours, and prolonged isolation create a culture of chronic loneliness, depression, sleep disorders, and anxiety. If left untreated, mental health issues develop staggering consequences that will indirectly affect operations and business performance. It's in the employer's best interest to provide employees with the support systems that they need to treat their mental health problems. Solutions that address these mental health issues include creating a consistent driving schedule, assigning a partner to every driver, or providing drivers with remote therapy sessions. And that's all for this week's Redline Report. I'm Caleb. Be sure to follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch each episode and leave us a like and a comment. We'll see you next time on the Redline Report, powered by HireMaster.